What if the secret to true wealth wasn't in what we accumulate, but in what we share? The idea flips traditional thinking, provoking a profound reevaluation of how we perceive success. Are we missing the deeper reward hidden in acts of giving? The world teaches us to gather and hoard. But have you ever wondered why the richest among us often express the most profound sense of lack? Is it possible that the act of keeping contracts the soul? Imagine a world where wealth is measured not by the size of our bank accounts, but by the impact of our generosity. How would your life change if your wealth was defined by the lives you touch? The paradox of wealth is that giving, rather than taking, often leads to the greatest growth. When we give, we align ourselves with the abundance of nature itself, which teaches us that everything flows and is interconnected. What is the nature of generosity? It is a practice of self-expansion. Each gift is a ripple, spreading outward, impacting the world in ways we cannot predict. Can you embrace the courage to let go and trust the process? Stories tell us of those who gave abundantly, often gaining unforeseen rewards. These tales remind us that sharing creates a wealth of connection, a tapestry of mutual benefit that enriches all parties involved. Consider the story of a forest, each tree providing shelter, each river offering sustenance. Nature thrives in a cycle of giving. Are we too part of something larger, a community whose strength lies in collective generosity? Sometimes the act of giving is mistaken for weakness or loss. Yet in truth, it is an expression of strength and abundance. How can this shift in mindset transform your own approach to wealth? Generosity is not just financial. It encompasses time, attention, and energy. Each resource, when shared, multiplies in impact. How might you begin to redefine your contributions beyond the material? In moments of giving, we connect with a deeper sense of purpose. This is the wealth that cannot be measured on a balance sheet, yet enriches our lives infinitely. What purpose does your giving reveal within you? There is a stoic wisdom in understanding that nothing is truly ours to keep. Everything is transient and borrowed. How does this perspective alter how you interact with your possessions? Imagine standing on the edge of a vast ocean. It gives without expectation, flowing unceasingly. This is the natural order of things, expansive and unselfish. Can we emulate this in our own lives? Reflect on the moments when you felt wealthiest. Were they times of receiving or perhaps of giving? The heart knows a different kind of accounting, one that measures in joy and fulfillment. Wealth without generosity can lead to isolation, a building of walls rather than bridges. How might your acts of giving serve as the true currency of connection and community? In societies driven by consumption, the quiet act of giving stands as a rebellion. It whispers that enough is already within us. What would you do differently if you believed this truth? What does your heart yearn to give? It is a question that guides us to our truest expressions of self. Listening to this call is the beginning of aligning with authentic wealth. By giving, we become co-creators in the story of others, contributing to their growth and, in turn, finding our place in the tapestry of life. This is the echo of true wealth, Generosity requires vulnerability, as it asks us to open our hearts without knowing the return. Yet, in this openness lies the seed of endless potential and possibility. Consider the ripples your actions create. Each generous act, whether large or small, sends waves through the fabric of existence. Imagine the legacy you leave behind through these ripples. In the act of letting go, we learn that abundance was never about possession. True wealth flows through us, a river of potential that nourishes all it touches. What if your next investment wasn't measured just in returns, but in how it changes lives? Wealth, when shared, becomes a tool for transformation rather than mere accumulation. The balance sheet of life is written in experiences and connections, not dollars and cents. How might you enrich this account today with your own acts of generosity? Every culture tells tales of noble generosity. These stories endure because they resonate with an intrinsic truth. What story will your life tell through your own acts of giving? Do you measure success by accumulating or by the legacy you leave of shared abundance? This shift in thinking is at the heart of the wealth mindset we rarely talk about. Reflect on those who have shared with you along your journey. Their generosity shaped who you are. Might your own giving echo forward, weaving into the lives of others in unforeseen ways? Imagine a life where you are celebrated not for what you possess, but for what you've shared. The legacy of a generous heart outshines even the brightest treasures. We often fear that giving away diminishes us, yet the opposite is true. In giving, we expand, enriching ourselves with the joy and gratitude reflected back from others. Consider the universe itself. Its expansiveness teaches us that to thrive, we must share. This cosmic lesson invites us to question how we might mirror this bountiful nature. Perhaps the greatest secret is that in giving, we are receiving the most valuable gift of all, meaning. How does generosity infuse your life with purpose and depth? Generosity forms the backbone of community, the invisible threads connecting us all. These bonds grant us security, belonging, and a sense of home. How can you enhance this web of connection today? The nature of giving transforms scarcity into abundance. It turns isolation into unity and fear into love. Reflect on these transformations and dream about what role you wish to play in this cycle. Each generous act is a testament to our shared humanity. It bridges gaps and builds understanding. Are you willing to craft a bridge of your own, reaching out into the world? Consider the duality of giving and receiving intertwined and inseparable. One begets the other, forming an endless cycle of wealth that is not just material, but profoundly spiritual. What will you give today that will seed new growth in others and indirectly yourself? In this cycle, the giver is never empty, for to give is to receive a part of the shared journey. Challenge the notion that owning more equals being more. True wealth stems from the courageous act of giving, a silent testament to trust in the abundance of the universe. Wealth is not the visible riches we display, but the invisible strength we build by uplifting others. As you offer, so you become, embodying the wealth you create. In the end, generosity teaches us a fundamental truth. We are all parts of a greater whole. Our wealth lies not in isolation, but in connection, In the perpetuation of shared abundance, reflect on the clouds, freely moving, changing, giving rain. They teach us that the key to harmony is to be in flow, to give what we have to the world below. The universe honors those who give, for they understand that only when we open our hands can we truly receive. What doors will you open with your own generosity? Remember, true wealth is not stored, but shared. It is the joy we evoke and the lives we enrich. Let this wisdom guide you forward as you craft your legacy of generosity.